Hello. Today we will look at another poem by Wang Wei. Missing home or hometown is a topic very commonly seen in the Chinese Asian poetry. Because it's such a universal sentiment relevant throughout the Chinese history, and indeed all over the world, it can be best expressed in the form of poetry for its conciseness and exquisiteness. Different poets write about this theme from different angles and can all achieve great effectiveness and touch the reader's heart. We've seen Li Bai started with a bright moon, leading to 低头思故乡, lowering my head and miss my hometown. We've seen Du Fu couldn't help himself uttering 今春看又过, 何日是归年? Now this spring has again passed as I see it, so when can I go back home? After seeing a vibrant and intensely beautiful spring scene. Let's see how Wang Wei approached this topic. The title to this poem is 杂诗. 杂 is miscellaneous, so this title does not have any real meaning. It's just something the poet claimed he casually wrote down, and like some other generic titles such as 绝句, did not give it a proper name. Wang Wei, in this instance, wrote 3 of them, all related, addressing the very same idea, but from various locations and standpoints. This is the second of the 3, and is the most popular one. 杂诗, 唐 王维. 君自故乡来，应知故乡事。来日绮窗前，寒梅著花未。君 is a respected form of you, usually used to show respect, modesty, and friendship. 自 means from, and we often say 自 somewhere 来 meaning coming from this somewhere place. In this case, 故乡 hometown. Whose hometown? It's a hometown of the poet and also the person this Jun, the poet, is talking to. So we can see that the poet was probably living somewhere far from his hometown and met this Jun, perhaps a traveler, either his friend or just some old acquaintance, or even someone he did not know but only found out had come from his hometown. The poet said to him, "You come from my hometown, so you 应 should 知 know about, as in 知道故乡事 the things or events that occurred in our hometown." The language of the first 2 lines are extremely simple and plain, as if some casual dialogue between 2 not-so-close local people. Such is the genius of Wang Wei, and in fact of all great poets, who can distill a strong message from the most plain way of presenting their ideas. The next 2 lines, as expected, should be about some sort of thoughts related to his hometown, and about how much he missed it. And indeed, it is a poet's intention to do so. But he did so in a very surprising way. He asked the traveler a question, a very insignificant question. 来日 is 来的日子, which means on the day when you left. 绮窗前 in front of 前 the 绮窗. 绮, this word originally means some very colorful and bright silk or fabric, and then the meaning is extended to refer to something exquisitely beautiful and elaborate. So 绮窗 is some beautifully decorated windows. Han is cold. Mei is a type of plum flower that blossoms in the winter. Therefore, we often say 寒梅. This word 灼 usually is pronounced 注, but here is 灼 meaning to bear, as in to bear flower or fruit. 未 means not. So the poet asks, on the day when you left, that winter plum flower in front of the beautiful windows, had it blossomed? So, of all the important things and big events that he could have asked, he only chose to ask if certain plants had flowered. Is that it? What a surprise! We know subtlety is a quality held very dear in the heart of most Chinese poets. Here Wang Wei showed this subtlety to its very, very extremes. He did not even get close to explicitly touch upon any of his desire for his hometown, but rather let the readers follow his own train of thoughts and experience themselves what he wanted to say. If you think about it, it's most natural and understandable that when you are away from home or homeland for long, the most clinching memory is not necessarily something grand and significant, but most likely some very fine details or moments, something trivial but beautiful, rich and lasting, such as this winter plum. It would just stand there, flowering every winter. Its very presence, or even the thought of it, would strongly remind the poet that he would always have his hometown to fall on to, no matter how far or how long he had been away. And very importantly, this is associated with 起窗, such an elegant and warm setting, so can turn those sentimental thoughts into something soft, memorable, and endearing. So without explicitly saying it, the poet was indeed missing his home dearly. This message is not instantly obvious when reading this poem, but the more you read it and sink into the mood surrounding it, the more evident it will appear. There have been different views on who exactly Wang Wei was missing in this poem, this Jun. Some said it was his wife, some said it was his wider family, and some even suggested that the poem was not about Wang Wei himself at all, but some non-specific generic travelers. But the absolute truth here is not important. What is important is the mood this poem portrays and the rich warmth and tenderness embodied in it. Hope you can feel it, too, and enjoy this poem. That's all for today. See you next week.